Hello everybody, it's Andy here from A&BD Games. In today's video I'm going to be doing an update on the older video that I posted for 5.1, which was the physics pick up and throw objects. Now in this video it's going to be aimed at 5.3.2, so the newer version of Unreal. There's been a couple of background changes, I believe, in the way physics is handled and how it updates. I'm not too sure what they've changed. I'm trying to still figure that out. I can't seem to find anything in the patch notes, but there's a workaround for it, and I want to share that with you guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to open up the project that you want to use. I'm in a brand new project in the newer version. The only thing I've done here is just delete the gun because I don't want to walk over it. So I'm in the first person template. Everything here is exactly what you would see if you do the same, apart from the gun, which is now gone. So bear with me of a cough. I'm still recovering from being a little bit sick with the flu, but I'll be fine, and let's move on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our content browser, so control spacebar shortcut. In here you should have the same as me if you've started the new project. You've got starter content if you've enabled that, level prototyping, first person weapon, first person arms, first person character, and developer folder. So in here we're going to open that up and we can see maps, input, blueprint. Now we want input and we want actions. So we're going to create a new input action. I'm going to right click. In here we're going to go to input action. I'm going to name it IA underscore pickup, and that's done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our defaults. I'm going to click, excuse me, add. Okay, we've got one here that we can use, and we're going to go and select IA pickup, and then we're going to save that. And we can see here now that we can select a key for that. So I'm going to use right click. So we're going to click here and then press the right mouse button and then save, and then we can close. Okay, so that's that done, and you should also have your first person character with just these three chat boxes or comment boxes inside. So to reach that window, we're going to go to content, first person, blueprints, and then double click, and it should open up your first person character blueprint. Now in here what we want to do is we want to add some code to pick up our objects. So we can see these blue cubes scattered around the template map, and we want to be able to pick these up. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, and we're going to get a line trace for objects. And then out of our object type we're going to get make array. I'm going to select physics body. Bear with me. Excuse me. And once we've done that, we're going to select our input mapping that we created earlier. So we're going to type in IA underscore, and we want pickup. And there's our input mapping, and we can place that in there. Let's have a look. We could probably do it out of cancelled. So triggering has been cancelled, for example. The user has let go of a key before the press and hold time threshold. So we could do out of cancel the code that we need to do shortly. So out of this now, what we need to do, we need to get a reference to our first person camera, which is just here. So we can drag that. And then we need to get a get world location. And we need a get forward vector. So this is the direction that the camera is facing, the player camera. And then out of this, let's move this over a little bit. So we need a little bit of maths. So we're going to get a multiply. So drag out and press the star on your numpad, or the asterisk, whatever you're going to call it. And then we want to get an addition, so we're going to press drag out and get a plus. And disconnect these. That needs to go there, that needs to go in there, so it looks like this. Now we don't want this one, we want a single float, so we're going to right click and then go to single, and then we're going to add in here a distance of 300, and then the plus is going to go into end, and then the start is going to go straight into the world location, just like so. There we go. That's all done. So that's that done. And then out hit on our line trace for objects, we're going to drag out of that, and we can scroll down. We should have it. Nope. Okay, so we'll do break hit results. Break. Oh, I picked the wrong one, didn't I? By mistake. I put multi-line trace. We want the line trace for objects, not the multi-line trace. My mistake. Line trace for objects. Yeah, we want the one above. Just realized. And then that can go into there. And then drag out of here, get break hit results. Mistakes happen. And then we want this back into there and that back into start. So make sure you reconnect these. Out of this now we need a branch. So we can hold B and left click to get branch. The condition is going to be the return value. And then we need to click on this little arrow to drop down. And then we've got access to these extra outputs. We want the hit component. So we're going to get hit component, get maths. And out of the hit component get mass, we want to get a equal, so less or equal. And then in here we're going to type in, let's say 50, and then we can minimize. We'll minimize this in a second actually. So we're going to use another branch, so B and left click. This is going to go in the condition for this one. Move that over, move that over. There we go. And this is going to go into true, from true into the input. And then we want to add a physics handle. So plus physics, and then we want handle. I'm going to drop that in. And then we want to get grab component, location with rotation. Just like so. Alright, that's it. And that's going to go into true. So we should have it all set up like so. And then we want the location, the grabbed location, to be the location of our hit object. So we can minimize that now. And now we have that done, which is fine. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. Excuse me. Enhanced input action, pick up. We've got the first person camera, the location and the direction the camera's facing. We're going to send out a line 300 units in front of the player to see if it hits an object. If the object that the line trace, or this line that's being projected from this node, hits a physics object and the weight of that object is less than 50 kilos or equal to, so it can be 50 or less, then we can pick it up using the physics handle. Hope that makes sense. So the component that's going to be hit, so let's double click on this, get a reroute, let's pop that into component, double click, make it a little bit tidier and easier to follow, like so. Okay, so that's that done. And what we're going to do now is we need to set up the ability to drop it. So we're going to create a variable, and this is going to be is holding with a question mark, so know that it's a condition, true or false. And we're going to set is holding here to true because we are holding that object. And then over here we need to make an additional line of code. So we're going to create another branch. So hold B and left click, and we need to use, I'm going to go with cancelled. That should work. And then if it doesn't, that's fine. We can come back and fix that. And we're going to use the condition is holding. And if it's true, we want to release the component. So I'm going to get our physics handle, drag out, release component. And if true, we are holding that object. So this is questioning if we let go of the key that we're currently holding the object with, and we are holding that object currently because the condition has been set here, then we need to then tell the physics handle to let go. So what we're going to do now is then call is holding to false. So we're going to leave it unchecked, and we're going to compile, and we need to test this. So let's go into the level, select one of the cubes. We can see down here that we have simulate physics is on, and we can see here that we have a mass in kilos currently set to 100. So if we change this to 50 and then play from here, can we pick it up? No. So this is where it differs from 5.1. For some strange reason, the physics are asleep and it won't wake up. So there's a few ways that we can change or alter this. I'm still looking for a better way. There probably is, but no luck so far in the patch notes or any of the changes to the engine. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure our line trace is firing by clicking on draw debug type and then do persistent. Let's go back in and test, and we can see here that we do have, so when we hold the right mouse button, we can see we're drawing that line, and we can see we are hitting and detecting a physics object. Okay, so let's go in and add the part that we need. So we're going to go to, we'll use first of all an event tick, and then we'll change it to an alternative, which I'll show you. So we're going to get an event tick. Now this will fire off code for every single frame. So if your game's running at 120 frames per second, this is going to be firing off code 120 times per second. We don't really want to get comfortable ever using an event tick for anything extreme or firing off a lot of code all at once, because it will cause performance problems in games. It's perfectly fine to test code using an event tick in the engine as long as you have an alternative to change it to before you process or package it to send it out for distribution to make money off, or your final version of a project. Try not to use it too often. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an event tick into a branch, and the branch is going to be is holding as a condition, and what we want to do then is we're going to get our physics handle, and we're going to go and set target location and rotation and true into here. So this is what we should have, like so. And what we want to do now is do the first person camera again. So we're going to grab these and then copy them, Control C and paste. Excuse me. This is going to go into location, like so, and get forward vector is going to go into new rotation. So that should work. So let's go back in, right click, play, and we can see there that when we pick up the block, we need to change which, if you can see, if I right click, we've got the block, but we need to change the cancelled. So we've got triggered and cancelled, but we probably need to place that into, let's have a look, see if completed works. Let's have a look. So yeah, so we need to change and adjust. So we've got triggered, we've got started, ongoing, cancelled, and completed. So let's do, so triggering occurred after one or more processing ticks. So let's do started and cancelled. There we go. And if we right click, we should let go of the object, but it keeps hitting. So does it count if we right click and then, let's have a look. So we've got triggered, started, ongoing, cancelled, completed. Triggering occurred after one or more processing ticks. An event has occurred that has begun triggering evaluation. Triggered may also occur this frame, but this event will always be fired first. Completed. There we go. So right click, hold, and then if you let go, it'll drop, which is exactly what we want. We pick up the object, we can move it around the space. No matter where we walk, it's facing towards the player because it's updating the location and rotation. And there we have the physics objects working. So now let's add some throw-in functionality. So in here, so we have that done. So we want started and completed. My mistake there, sorry, I was having a bit of a brain fart moment. This is what happens when you're not well and you record videos. So we have this all set up, and we currently have it on event tick. So let's change this. Let's disconnect and move our event tick. So now we know that this is not connected anymore. So this has no influence on this code. And what we're going to look for is a node called timer by event, I believe. Yeah. So we're going to get timer by event, and we're going to connect that into true, into the branch, sorry. We need an event to be called to update this, which will then enable us to have more control. So let's do 0.001. So instead of an event tick, which is going to constantly be firing off whenever there's a frame being called, this one will only fire off whenever the event's called. So we need to add this in to our code above. So let's find some space. So let's find some space for it, and we'll do it here. So let's create a custom event. So add custom event, and this is going to be update. Oops, there we go. Update location, and then we can connect the delegate into the event and the two executables in. So there we have that done. Now we need to call this when we pick it up. So let's place it here. So in our event graph, we can grab this, pop it on there, and then compile, and let's test that. So if we go in, pick it up, there we go. It works just like the event tick, but without the major performance issues. So this will work on any pickup object, but it's better than using the event tick. So that's how that's done. So you're just going to add your event graph, your update location, to the end just before the is holding, and then that will update it in real time, just like the event tick, but without the potential performance costs. So that's that done. Now we have the update location, and then we have this part, which is pick up physics objects. Let's set the text size to 32, and the same for this one. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, so this is done and this is done. I'll give you a second. I'll zoom in so you can pause the video here and just double check that everything's the same for yours, and then I'll do the same here. Pause it here and then pause it here, and then we can pause here as well at the end, so you can all double check that everything's connected up the same as mine. Okay, so if we want to throw the object, let's create some code so we can throw the object that we're currently holding in the direction that the player is facing. So to do that, we're going to need another input action, but we can probably use our shoot one, but let's create one. So control spacebar, and let's go to first person folder, to input, to actions, and let's create one. So we'll go to input, action, and then we'll type in IA_THROW for throw. Let's go to our defaults. Let's click on mappings. Let's click on here and then go to throw. And then we can do that and left click. There we go. And then if we go back into our first person character, we can right click, IA_, and then we go and select throw. So now we have our enhanced input action for throwing objects. And let's move this down a little bit and make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So let's pop that here, and we want to implement it to the current code that we have, so when we're holding the object we can throw the object. So to do that, we're going to get a branch, our good old friend branch. So hold B and left click, and we want it on pressed, so we want started, I believe. Let's have a look. Or triggered. Let's try triggered. And the condition is going to be is holding, which we've already got. So this is going to be our condition. If the player is currently holding the object, then we want to be able to throw that object. So we're going to get our physics handle, because we're also going to want to release the object. We're going to get release component, like so, out of true into there. If it's false, then we don't want to do anything, because we're not currently holding any objects. We don't want to throw anything that we're not holding, because you can't throw something if you're not holding it. And we need to connect this up to our hit component. So let's get a get forward vector. Get forward vector. This is just going to be not that one. Get forward vector. We want the first person camera, I believe, and let's do actually get, excuse me, get forward, that one, get active forward vector. itself, so it's the way that the player is currently facing. And we're going to get a multiply, so drag out of the return value and press the star or asterisk on your numpad, get a multiplier node. And we want this to be a single float, so get right click, single float precision. And then out of this, we want to add force. So let's get our component here, drag out and get add force, just like so. Let's add a reroute. Let's tidy that up. Add a reroute here. There we go. Keeps it nice and neat. And let's plug that in. And into our force, we're going to add this. Make sure we convert that to a single. And then you want to add quite a large number. Let's do 1,0,0,0,0,0,0. And then compile. So this should throw the object in the direction that we want. So if we left click, there we go, we can now throw the object. So let's pick that up again and let's aim it at these boxes and left click. There we go. So wherever you look with your box and you'll left click, you'll throw the box in that general direction. So you've now opened up the possibilities to add things like little mini games. So you've got physics-based mini games, and it's a really simple way to do that. Achieve pretty decent results. So you can chase this box around, pick it up, throw it at the other ones, just like so. I don't think I could ever do that again if I tried. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. It's just an updated version of the original one that I did. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it for any odd reason, then I suppose, yeah, dislike it. I mean, I don't know why, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, I hope the video helps, and if there's any questions, leave them in the comments, and when I get time, I'll review those questions and I'll answer them the best I can. You can always join me over on Discord, where there's myself and other people as well, independent game developers, artists, 3D modelers, lots of people there that are willing to answer questions and help the community. So yeah, if you like it, if you dislike it, and consider helping the channel by subscribing. I always appreciate a new subscriber. It helps the channel grow, helps me support you guys in the long run. So thanks very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.